Alright guys, so from this lecture onwards, from now onwards for a couple of videos, we are going to talk about the problem solving approach as well as problem solving patterns, right? Because in comment section, like I was getting like, please solve some questions so at least we can get some practical examples which will help us in interview questions. Obviously, we will reach there shortly. So that is how like we are proceeding, right? So first we have to see like how we should approach a problem to solve it, because if you directly jump into a problem to solve it with bunch of tools, that does not make any sense. If you can't solve it even though you have a lot of tools, right? So we will go into it step by step. First we will see like how we can approach a problem, how we can break down a problem into a smaller problem so as to solve this as in an efficient way, right? Then we will learn about the tools or the patterns with the help of which we can solve those particular problems way faster. Okay, so this is how we are planning to go for the next couple of videos. Okay, so let's start with what is an algorithm. Okay, so algorithm is basically a set of steps to accomplish a certain task. Okay, or in more formular definition, like we can say an algorithm is a mathematical process of solving a problem using a finite number of steps. So in simple words we can say like let's say you are tying your shoelaces. Okay, so for that also you are doing some steps, right? So those steps are called, like those steps to achieve the solution of a particular problem is called algorithm. So be there, like you are surrounded by algorithms in all over the place, like be it Instagram, be it YouTube, be it Twitter, or we can say X, be it Google search engine. Everywhere you have algorithm, right? Some algorithms are short and simple, which requires like a few hours of time, few hours of work. Some algorithms are quite complex. They require like a month of time with like 50, 60 peoples. Okay, and some algorithms are way larger, like they require like thousands of peoples, and they require at least 2 3 years of time, and still take like years to get maintained, right? Like we can talk about Google search algorithm, and in YouTube we have search engine, and then we have recommendation system in the Instagram. Everything involves some sort of algorithms. So these examples are the most complex ones. Obviously we are not gonna dive into those. We are going to target the algorithms which are helpful in your interview questions, right? Because that is our end goal for this series, right? To crack the interviews, not to build something like Instagram in just by watching one video, right? That's not practical at all. Okay, we will learn about short smaller algorithms, sweet algorithms, so that we will get an idea like how we can solve algorithms slowly. We will reach to the big algorithms, right? So down the road we are going to solve a bunch of problems, so stay tuned because lot of good stuff is coming. Okay, so I think you are clear like what is an algorithm by now. It's like sort of like certain steps to perform a task to accomplish the solution of that problem. Okay, so this is what we call an algorithm. Okay, so now why we need an algorithm? Well, as I already mentioned, like almost everything you do in programming, or you are surrounded by algorithm in all over the places, right? So almost everything you do in programming involves some sort of algorithm. And the more important thing is like it is a foundation to become a successful problem solver or coder or developer, you can say, right? Because if you know how to solve a problem, then you can literally do anything. You can literally break through in coding, right? So now how to learn like problem solving, how to improve yourself in problem solving faster. Because if you notice like some peoples are like natural problem solvers. If you give them some problem, they can solve it like within a seconds. They catch that quickly, right? And there are then few peoples on the other hand, like who takes time to like understand the problem itself, then they think like how we can solve it, and then they try to dive into the solution, right? So the better way is to to learn quickly to solve a problem or to get better at solving problem is to devise a particular plan to solve a problem, right? If you have a better plan like how you can solve a problem, then you can quickly solve it. Like if you don't even have any plan, like from where you are going to start, where you are going to end, then obviously you're just going to waste your time with that problem, right? Okay, so now if you understand like how you can plan a particular problem to solve it, then there are something which will help you a lot in solving those problems faster, and those are problem solving patterns. There are some patterns, like most known patterns like frequency counter, sliding window, and all those stuffs. Obviously we are going to learn all these problem solving patterns. They are like couple of videos away from this one. Okay, so we are shortly reaching those videos, right? So first we will understand like how we can solve a problem. Okay, so yeah, if you want to improve yourself in solving problem, if you want to be good at solving problem, you have to first devise a plan how you can solve a problem, and then you have to master some of the problem solving patterns that will help you gradually to solve a problem. Okay, now how you can solve a problem, how you can approach a problem, or what should be your strategies to solve a particular problem, right? So there are few steps, and this I'll cover in the next couple of videos. Every topic will have its own video because I'll be diving a little bit deeper into the detail of these particular things, like these particular topics which I've just now mentioned. Okay, so yeah, problem solving approach I have broken down into like 5 steps, right? So first you have to understand the problem. Like if you don't understand the problem, then obviously you're not gonna solve it at all. You can't give the solution of that problem, right? If you think in a real world, like if you don't know anyone's problem, then what solution you are gonna give him, right? See, if someone have some issue with his dog, then obviously you are not gonna give him suggestion to buy a new T-shirt or buy a new shoes. That will solve your problem. That does not make any sense, right? So first thing you need to do is you have to understand the problem, what the actual problem is, what you have to solve. Okay, and then you have to relate it with some concrete examples. Okay, so let's say your friend have a problem with his dog. His dog is not behaving well, right? So you can relate it with your another friend, like that person's dog was also behaving the same. Then what you advise him to do, same advice you can give this guy. Okay, so this way you can relate your problem with an actual, with a another problem or example, or a concrete example we can say, right? So try to always relate your current problem with some concrete examples. Okay, that will help you to approach to the solution way faster. Okay, and it will help you a lot to solve that problem. Okay, now the third thing we have is break into sub problems. So if you have a bigger problem, most of the developers do a mistake, like they try to solve that whole problem all in one go, right? And they end up failing in that particular problem. So what we will do, we will understand like how we can break down a big problem into small sub problems, and then we are gonna solve it, as I have mentioned already in the fourth step. Okay, so we will break down the bigger problems into smaller sub problems down the road in the next couple of videos, and then we will solve those problems. Okay, and then once we are done with our problem, once we have achieved the solution of our problem finally, we will look back to our code and we will refactor that a little bit. Okay, so that it will look a little bit nicer, right? We don't want to leave our code messy, looking messy, right? So we will refactor our code as well. Okay, so these are the bunch of things which we are going to learn in next couple of videos. And after learning like how we can approach a problem, after learning like problem solving strategies, we will dive into the problem solving patterns. We will understand couple of problem solving patterns, and then we will start learning data structures and algorithms finally. Okay, so yeah, these couple of videos will include these steps, and after these we will obviously learn about the problem solving patterns. There we will involve some coding sessions as well. Okay, so stay tuned guys. This is it for this lecture. So let's dive into understanding a problem right into the next lecture. So see you there.